Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people. It's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Yep, that's just Bindi, the grey and white one, just going for a lie down there. So entertainment only. I do apologize. I'm a little bit sweaty. I spent this morning down the park with the nearly 2-year-old going down the slide, and down the slide, and down the slide, and down the slide, and down the slide again. Nearly wore out the bottom in my pants nearly. So, but that's what it's all about. Okay, what do I want to have a look at? Well, we're going to have a look at the elephant in the room, which is not really an elephant, or should I say the bison in the room, because I'm using my runic tarot for those that know the deck. I'm shocked that people are shocked so, that Trump has been outed as a Russian asset. I thought it was common knowledge. Common knowledge since the 1980s. So I'm actually surprised that people are surprised. If we go back, I'm just going to briefly run through, missing heaps of the history, but 1977, married Ivana, a Czech. A Czech at that time was under the control, well, under the, pretty much under the USSR. What happened then? 1980, he started trading with Russians in New York on business dealings, etc. 1987, he took the first of 4 trips within 2 months to Russia, the first one being on a privately supplied jet with 2 military colonels. It was supposedly to meet Gorbachev. Apparently he never met Gorbachev on that first one. For the first of 4 trips, 1987, he took out his first series of full-page anti-NATO ads. 1988, Gorbachev flew to the US, met with, I think, was it Reagan at that time, but also met with Trump, had a private dinner with Trump at Trump Tower. So 1990, he then, along with the likes of KGB boss or KGB operative Vladimir Putin, 1990 started deriding Gorbachev because Gorbachev was too progressive. 1996. 2007, 2013, all trips to Russia. 2014, Eric publicly stated that they don't need the US banks because they have Russian funding. 1992, going back a little bit again, apparently he had already burnt through his $500 million inheritance from Fred Trump and was $1 billion in personal debt. This doesn't include, so this was 1992, this was just after he started deriding Gorbachev and before he did the series of trips, 96 to 2013. 1992, he had burnt through the debt. His companies were, this was personal debt, $1 billion. So he had burnt through $1.5 billion. This is a guy who says he's a great businessman. No, he's not. And his businesses were going bankrupt left, right, and centre. And the US banks wouldn't touch him. So it was 1992, 1996 was the starting of all these trips. 2014, Eric came out and stated that they don't need the American banks, they have the Russians. He's now denied that. Well, aside from the fact that it's out there, very public. And 2018, while he was in the first administration, he tried to take the US out of NATO after the midterms. Now, I'm just going to put it out there that a lot of it's almost like thank goodness for COVID, because what happened is COVID actually stopped a lot of what he was trying to achieve after the US midterms, when the GOP then had control, I believe, of the House. I can't remember correctly. I don't think they had the Senate at that time. But tried to take the US out of the midterms. Now, he was supposed to win 2020. I'm just going to float that out there. He was supposed to win 2020, and nobody was more shocked than Trump and Putin when he didn't, because there was such an overwhelming vote for Joe Biden that what they had put in place to cheat didn't come to wasn't enough. They learnt the lesson, so they then overshot in 2024. So what happened is then after the, oh, no, sorry, 2018, I can't remember who had control of the House and the Senate then, but anyhow, the midterm I'm thinking of is the 2022. So what happened was then the Kremlin was forced to, or Putin was forced to, hold off their plans to invade Ukraine. That was all part of that first term, second term plan. This is just what I'm feeling. Was forced to hold off, and you'll notice that he invaded Ukraine around the time of the 2022 midterms, when the GOP got the House back, and therefore could block funding. So, I'm. Why is anybody surprised? If the history goes, okay, I hadn't mentioned it before because I just thought it was common knowledge. It was common knowledge on the other side of the world. Here, I just assumed it was common knowledge in the US. However, okay, what I want to have a look at is, really, did people really not? Well, obviously they didn't. I mean, Hillary tried to warn, but um, I mean, when he says, "Oh, please, Russia, release Hillary's emails," when he has said, when Russia basically came out straight after the November the 5th election and said, "Right, you owe us now," and he owes them big time because he was supposed to win 2020, therefore it was supposed to be 3 days taking over Ukraine, and they see it as him failing. So what do I want to ask? Where do I start with this? Okay, what's flipped over? The Five of Swords, the Steel, break it, yeah, the Steel. I mean, just everything is raping, pillaging, and stealing. I'm just flabbergasted. I'm absolutely flabbergasted this wasn't common knowledge. But let's have a look. Will this information that's coming out now? It's being stifled in the US, um, from what I gather. So you have to go overseas to find it. Now I will put an article when I'm finished doing the readings in the post section. So if you just click on Meister Tarot under any video, it will take you to the main page and you'll see posts. Some, if you haven't updated your YouTube app, might say community, giving some of that timeline. You've got to sort of have a look around, but it'll give some of that timeline. So just show me, is this information coming out going to be enough to change opinions? Okay, come on down, let's have a look. Oh boy. Well, first card out, the Emperor. Declared himself a king, declared himself an emperor, sitting on the throne. Or is this, it is about control? Is this the Kremlin? Is this Putin? Well, I'm actually drawn to the belt buckle there. I know it's a rune, but it looks also like a P. So I'll just use my quick cheat sheet and have a look to see what rune that is. That is reactive force and conflict. Defense, reactive force and conflict. But boy, doesn't it look like a P? So yeah, this is about taking control and causing conflict. The challenge is the Two of Pentacles. If I was using my Waite-Smith deck, the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this would be the juggling, but which for me is, how do I put it? The vote manipulation, but it's a different looking. So the challenge to this Emperor energy is delay, the light being shone, and the protection. So those that are protecting are forcing delays. Russia, I'm going to say Russia is literally on its knees. And that's why if you feel there's a sense of urgency, I'm just going to hold that up just in case I forgot to do it before, entertainment only. There's a sense of urgency because Russia is literally on its knees, and they need this to happen really, really quick. Like they need whatever they want to happen really quickly. Now, by taking this quick path, they're exposing themselves fully. They're exposing their asset, they're exposing themselves at the foundation, what they're stewing in, so is it I'm really feeling this is simply just about Felon 45 himself stewing in the plan. So the connection between Russia and Felon 45, it's about a plan, and it's a plan that's been 40 years in the making. Okay. In the past, the Wheel of Fortune, turning the wheel, this was their intention, turning the Wheel of Fortune into their favour. That was in the past. Crowning this reading, the Knight of Cups, the false knight, offering gifts, or just the knight offering gifts. Holding at bay the tsunami in the background there. So, Felon 45 in 1992 was 1.5 billion in personal debt. Well, we'd burnt through the $500 million and he was 1 billion in debt. This didn't include the Trump organ, the companies, etc., that were going bankrupt left, right, and centre. This was personal. So they rode in like the White Knight and made the offer. Now, Russia, similar to China, operate on decades timelines. Not this 4-year cycle or 3-year cycle in some countries that the West democracy seems to work on. They work in decade timelines. Now, also remembering that in 1988, I didn't look it up. I'm not sure who was the leader in 1992. I'll have to look it up. But 1988, Gorbachev died. By 1990, Gorbachev was being derided to be overthrown. And Felon 45 was doing the talk show circuit, also talking about overthrowing the overthrowing of Gorbachev. So connect the dots. The immediate future, conversations happening in dark corners. It's the 9 of Cups, but for me, it very much looks like the resistance or sneaky dealings as conversations are happening in the dark corners here. Okay. Externally, steal, rape, pillage, steal, burn to the ground. So that's the intention, is to attempt to burn the US and democracy to the ground. And it started with the steal, 2015 or 16, 2016 was it? The election attempted in 2016. 2020, they attempted again but didn't go far enough. 2024, they overshot, but here we are. Okay, internally, emotional overwhelming, new partnerships, the pressure. Okay, right. See this cup here? We're coming to collect internally. The relationship between Felon 45 and Russia. They're coming to collect. They want it back, and they want it back in spades. Absolutely, internally. However, hopes and fears. This is one of my Zelensky cards. He's standing in their way. He did not roll over. It's the inspirational feminine energy bringing forward a powerful message. This is literally a fight between good and evil. Literally. About what is most important. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you at all. I'm just putting this out there so that you are aware. And it's very much about the way to counter this is not to succumb to the fear. That's what they want, the succumbing to the fear, turning on each other, the breakdown of society, where it's attacking thy neighbour because the neighbour has, whatever it is that you feel that you need. The way to overcome this is to stay in the light and in the good. And it's about looking after your neighbour. It's about building communities. Okay, let's see where we go. The Knight of Pentacles. Is this good holding, or is this the mercenary actions here? King of Pentacles. Okay, the mercenary actions of Leon Muskrat. However, we've got the Three of Wands, plan coming to fruition, something from overseas, or is this protection help from overseas? I'll have a look at this in a moment, because we've then got the Queen of Cups, the emotional maturity, the stable leadership, exposing the betrayal with that Three of Swords, the betrayal, the deceit, the treason, and here's the whistleblower. Year of the whistleblower, that is going to entrap those involved with their messaging that comes out, and it's all about the bison in the room. Okay, and then we've got the Star of Hope and Healing, protecting and defeating. And then out of the ashes is the new beginning. Out of what has been burnt and decimated is the new beginning. Okay, we've got the two on the underlying energy on the deck, the Two of Swords. It's time to take the blindfold off and look at the truth of the matter about what's this, Seven of Swords, the abuse, the steal, the betrayal, the deception, and then we've got, again, the new beginning. So what have we got? Three aces, lots of new beginning stuff happening. Yeah, the relationship between. So Zelensky's been this is why Felon 45 is so anti-Zelensky, because he's really put a spanner in their plan. They did not, they underestimated what I'm actually being told, what I'm feeling is that the thought at the time was, oh, he's just an actor and a comedian. He'll be a pushover. He'll be a pushover. No, he wasn't. This is his destiny. This is the person he is meant to be. So, is this information that's coming in, and spread it everywhere? All you have to do is use your favorite search engine and search for something like Trump's ties to Russia. The Hill put out a really good article. TheHill.com, I think it is, put out a good article, but there's more out there. Yeah, the relationship judgment is coming in regards to this failing relationship. So each stage is going to wake up more and more. Interestingly enough, as predicted, the far right, yes, it did have a gain in Germany from the elections. They declared victory early, but they're not They're not the leading party. They're actually, I think they're the second. The leading party, Merz, under Merz, who now is going to try and form a coalition, got 29%. The far right got 20%. So yeah, as predicted, they've come out and claimed victory. No. So the Merz going to try and form a coalition. I believe they got 19% Scholz's party. I think got about 29%, 16%. Not enough. There's got to be three parties, and I think say three would come together for Germany. Okay, so I want to have a look. Is this news that's coming out that's like, I'm sorry, but is this news that's coming out? We've got the world. We've got this information being brought forward by inspirational women, perhaps. The investigation of the devil. Ten of Swords, ending, and the Hermit, which can be shining a light in the darkness, but it can also be forcing them into isolation. So, world stage, messaging coming forward, investigation, ending. Is that something to do with the German election, perhaps, since I was just talking about that? But let's have a look. Will this... So you'll notice SCOTUS ruled the other day about the independence watchdog. They've basically sent it back to the lower court and said, you know, the lower court stands. In regard, and the independent government watchdog is the one that investigates whistleblower claims. So that's held for the moment, but it's gone back to the lower court for further ruling, not from the SCOTUS, just the SCOTUS has pushed it back. So yeah, that's gotta hurt. Okay, show me. Ooh, Four of Swords might be the downfall of a leader coming here. Okay, let's have a look. Well, that just might be going back to the lower courts because I was talking about that. And okay, let's have a look. Will this information that's coming out be enough to undo f45? Will the information that's coming out wake up enough? Wasn't that town hall fascinating, where it was all white, mainly white women, Republican voters, absolutely giving the Republican representative an absolute caning. And go Canada, winning the ice hockey. And I gathered during the Canadian national anthem there were some boos, but they couldn't be heard because of the lustily singing of the national anthem. Go Canada. Okay. Yeah, go Canada. We're backing you 100%. Well, I am anyhow. Hopefully those on this channel are too. Okay, show me. Will it be enough? Come on down, let's have a look. Okay, the first card out is the Six of Cups. Past, the gift from the past, what's happened in the past on the family level, challenged by the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles for me is the apprentice, it is the skilled auditors, it is the tracking of the money trail. So that's the challenge, the gift from the past, challenged by tracking the money trail. At the foundation, is it going to be enough? The Hermit, shining a light on those that were in this isolated silo. It's also introspection, like, really? Did I really? Did I? Okay. In the past, the Tower moment. I think we've gone through the shift. I think it's enough. The Tower moment, where the dragon is literally flaming those that are sitting on the pile of gold. we can't have a Felon 45 reading without a Tower moment, can we, at the moment? But this is in the past. I think, yes, it is. Crowning this reading, the spy in the camp. I don't feel that Felon 45 was a spy. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was simply an asset that had a code name. And the code name apparently translates to beautiful red or red beautiful or whatever, if you want to, flatter a narcissist, calling him beautiful or handsome or whatever it is. But we've got here bringing forward the sword of truth, the information coming out, immediate future, an announcement being made. This is my Mark Rutte card. It's also one of my Zelensky cards, but this is NATO or this is ICC type energy. Externally, the Nine of Wands. Now, this is usually the wounded warrior backed up against the guardrails, the solid messaging, but this is more about externally messaging that is uncrossable, and it is bringing down Seven of Wands. It is bringing down hail and brimstone, fire and brimstone on those below. Internally, this is destructive force, this hopes and fears, end of the leader, outcome, partnership coming together. But this is a different type of partnership. This is working together to bring about a new beginning. This is different energy than that previous reading, and strength. By working together, we bring this new emotional beginning that is based in strength and strength of governance, the Hierophant. We've got here the King of Pentacles, protection. It can be my Leon card, and if you're wondering why I call him Leon, is because that's what Felon 45 calls him, has called him numerous times, and I'm trying not to trip off the senses. It can be, but this feels more like a position of protection because the next card is my Slav Ukraine, Page of Swords. We've got here the exposure of a betrayal, heartbreak, loss, despair, but betrayal, and then the ability to move forward, pack up the truth and move forward towards a new day, a new dawn, a new beginning. If I keep going, we've got the Five of Pentacles. This is very much about being shut out, losing big time. The oligarchs, those that feathered their nest, losing big time and facing judgment. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, as there is international information brought forward about some pretty major betrayal, stealing, theft, you name it, a lot of information coming out. It's taking some by surprise, which just anyhow, they're taking some by surprise. A lot of information coming out. We've got here Homeland Security. We've got the wheel turning and bringing an end of this raping and pillaging cycle, and the seeds being planted for a new beginning. So what have we got? We've got the wheel, death, bringing an ending of this cycle, the Ten of Pentacles, which is about the oligarchy, but for me, the raping and pillaging. The Ten of Wands, planting the seeds for this new beginning, bringing an end of a cycle. We've got the Seven of Pentacles, target on his back and reaping what he sows. And if I look at my little cheat sheet, that means justice. It also means leadership and authority, but it's, to me, I'm just going to read the first meaning, justice. He's got a target on his back. The wannabe emperor has a target on his back for justice. He's the King of Swords coming forward. This is the prosecution. It's also my Jack Smith and Alex Whiting card. Alex Whiting, the RICO money laundering specialist. We've got the moon, secrets being revealed about manipulation with the magician, about burning down, holding on. This, for me, the Four of Pentacles, it's secrets that they want to keep as they burn down the rest, but volatile messaging coming forward. It's going to lead to a new beginning. And the Ace of Swords. I'm just going to say there's going to be defiance. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of bombastic messaging put out by a certain somebody who's going down very quickly, or certain somebodies, as they find themselves tied to the post and being put to the flame. But the secrets, it's no longer a secret. Bison in the room is finding itself revealed. Yeah, I think a lot of us have been saying the tipping point, the tipping point, the tipping point. This may just be the major tipping point. So I want to have a quick look. Gosh, there's so much I want to read on today. Some of it might have to wait till tomorrow. Is this just, what do I just, how's this going to affect Felon 45? I've always read 2025, terrible year for Musk, terrible year for Yavin, terrible year for Teal. How's this going to affect Felon 45? I'll just do it really quickly. Oh, and yes, I listened about 5 times to that video the other day. Which one was it? The Fort Knox video. At about 4-minute 40 section, there's a little voice says yes, a young child, and I was so busy that I haven't had a lot of time to really work out who she is. But as I went to sleep last night, I said, please, who are you? What do I need to know? And she looked exactly the same as the first time I asked that question, but she was actually looking up at me. Caucasian, feels European, brown hair, freckles, teeth, but looking up at me, about 4 or 5 at the most. And she had a fringe, so it was like a bob cut down to about her shoulders with a straight across fringe and sort of curled under. So I'll have to investigate further, but yeah, I'm interested to know who she is. How's it going to go for Felon 45? What's this? The Seven of Cups. It's about the poor choices. It's about delusion. It's also my dementia card here as well. But it's the poor choices card. And then we have basically going down in flames and bringing about a new beginning. So I'll just put those back and just do a couple of extra. So show me, how's this information that's coming out? It feels like it's gaining momentum. So I gather the original story came out, disappeared, but they're now coming. It's all there, right? Okay. How's this? Emotionally overwhelming card of the day almost. I have been saying for a while that I feel like he's going to have some sort of emotional breakdown. I think also Leon's going to have a psychotic episode. I don't think he's going to have an overdose. I think he's going to have a psychotic episode where he goes, it's as if chainsaws on the stage weren't enough. But further than that. But yeah, emotionally overwhelming here. Okay, the King of Cups. Susan Lynn, I watched her yesterday from a couple of days ago with a Feffy, and she was really picking up strongly on Obama, remembering that Biden was Obama's vice president challenged by this King of Cups energy. Whomever this is, it may be Macron, it may be not feeling Starmer, but it may just be a combination of leaders. How's he feeling? Ooh, not good. 9 of Swords there in the past. 10 of Swords. Ooh. So this coming out, and the past is literally can be, a day ago. This coming out, ooh, not good at all. Now, interestingly enough, every time I read on them up to the November the 5th, I kept getting that vascular event, vascular event, vascular event. And I'm like, why is he not? Did a reading on it after November the 5th, and he was missing for 10 days, and I got that he's had stents put in, but they are literally keeping him propped up through a combination, I feel, entertainment only, drugs, infusions, whether it's hemoglobin or something along those lines to increase his energy when needed. Okay, so let's see where this goes. How's it going for him? Not good. Not good at all. And then we've got the Queen of Cups in the immediate future. Information still not being revealed, but being revealed by. So is this Harris, or is this just we've got the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, this leadership energy that's coming through? Why am I hearing Angela Merkel? Merkel has stepped out of politics. I think she has some health issues as well, but I just heard Angela Merkel. Boy, oh boy. Remember when she was at some sort of leadership gathering and she was forced to talk to the handbag designer? Look on her face. She is a force to be reckoned with. It may again be a combination of female leaders. The Mexican Prime Minister. Yeah, okay. Externally, he's going to find himself more and more isolated. Internally, a harsh truth. He knows it's coming down. Harsh truth is coming for him, and he knows it. This is acting rash, lashing out perhaps. Hopes and fears. Well, I think it might be too late for the hopes and fears, but this is even more secrets being revealed. The High Priestess, the bison in the room being revealed, the Sun finding himself fully exposed about the secret dealings done in the back room. And then we've got the Queen of Wands energy coming forward. Inspirational leadership bringing forward a message, investigation about the investigation of this devil. Ooh, yicky, yicky. If I look on the base, the energy of the base, the ending of the cycle, Page of Wands, bringing forward a powerful message. It's also my Slav Ukraine card, but just defying the Emperor, the youthful energy. And we've got the Page of Pentacles, bringing forward about information, about poor choices. And we've got Justice coming. Boy, oh boy. Thems that attach themselves are going to be facing judgment and a Tower moment. How do you burn through $1.5 billion personally? Goodness me. How is that even physically possible, especially back in the 80s when it was worth a heck of a lot more than it was now? I mean, literally, if you had simply invested it in solid real estate, done a Berkeley Hathaway or something. Anyhow, I'm going to leave it there. Love to you all. Take care.